Well, good evening.
Hello.
I'm here with Ian Cooper. Say hello, Ian Cooper.
Hello.
There we are. Tonight on the show, of course, the reason Ian Cooper is here, other than doing some recording of his own, is because we have been working on Someday, Charlie, Someday.
Yeah, indeed.
Which started as a song of yours. It was a solo song, wasn't it? It wasn't a co-write.
No, it was a solo song.
Yeah.
From about 20 years ago.
So we kind of muscled in then and kind of stole it off you.
Yeah, it's a good song that I could never finish. I needed a good chorus, so which you guys did.
There we are. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to spin the record so those that haven't heard it can hear it. And shame on if you haven't heard it, because that means you haven't bought the album. Yeah. Maybe this will spur you on. I don't think there's anyone here that hasn't bought the album, actually. So welcome, everyone. And here's the record spin.
Someday you'll find another need for me. Someday I'll shine once more among the stars you'll see. Till someday comes again, I'll wait says I belong. Like Michelangelo, I'll chip away at the shape of a brand new song. Judge me, judge on my grave portrait. My stumbling search to find my one true love. Someday they'll see talking only goes so far. Someday you'll know our actions make us who we are. We think too much and feel too slow to stop the evil that men do. The great dictator only seeks to show he can break the fourth wall in two. Someday you'll find someday I'll shine. Someday they'll see
What a lovely round of applause.
Yeah, well, you know,
Those people are so nice.
they love this song.
They applaud every week. Every week. It's got very similar applause every week. So welcome to the Korgis International. This week we have people from all over the world. Michael Dimmick, amazing that you got up this early to watch the live stream from somewhere in between Melbourne and Geelong. So welcome, Michael. Mauro, nice to see you. How is Brazil today? Well, what time are you there? Probably midday, something like that. Something like that, Sao Paulo. Hope things are good out there. Who else? Rick. Welcome back, Rick. This is going to be the battle of the titans with the competition between Rick and Paul. Because on the 2 weeks you weren't here, Rick, Paul won both weeks.
Tough question.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how tough this question is or not. Maybe not. Maybe someone will just know the answer like that. Whoosh. Maybe. We'll see. Michael Webb, of course. Mike, how are you? Hope all's good. He's been talking about some steam trainers at the 5526. Is that what it is? Yeah, he's been firing up the 5626. The 5626. I assume that isn't an old record player. I assume that is a train.
Does that one go the right way?
Probably, yeah, possibly. Well, it's probably got a reverse as well, you know. I think the great thing about my record spin is I think if you look closely, the actual record is going the right way and the center's going the wrong way. How I did that, I'm not quite sure.
Impressive.
Yeah. Impressive, yeah, I know. Yeah. I like to do the best I can. Hit that button.
That was easy.
There we are. That was easy for me to get the record going the wrong way. So sorry to really kind of upset you every time you see that, Rick. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Of course, I'm here with Ian this week, and Ian is a writer in his own right. The reason I know Ian is because of our good friend Chris Hopkins, who I've known for yonks and yonks and yonks. But also, of course, as a co-writer of Magic Money Tree, This Is a New Low, Oppenheimer, Prison Break, and a yet unheard track called End of an Era Feeling, which is set at the end of the 60s in Liverpool. And that's going to open the Red album. So there's a couple of people who are in the know who have heard a version of that. Anyone that's called across, I probably played it to them.
And of course, I added.
And yeah, you're a co-writer on that, aren't you? That's right. Yeah. Yes, because when we were writing End of an Era Feeling, Ian was recording his last album, which we're going to play you something off in a bit. What was the album called?
Guided by Ursa Minor.
Guided by Ursa Minor. Does anyone out there know what Ursa Minor is? I think I was a keen astronomer when I was a kid. When I was like between the ages of about 8 and 11, I kind of just learned everything that I possibly could, so I knew all of what Ursa Major and Ursa Minor were, etc., etc. I'm sure someone's going to come in and they're going to spill the beans on Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Yeah. And so, that was the last album. We're going to play something from that a little bit later on. But you've been here recording a new album.
Yeah, called Smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord.
Yeah.
That's easy for you to say.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And what we have in common, of course, is Chris Hopkins.
Yes, yeah. Chris always helped me with my songs. I write in the main, and Chris does a lot of the music and production. He's a bit of a whiz at that, as well as writing his own stuff. And but yeah, we've been working together for about 30 years. But I did have a 20-year break, so. Yeah, which I came back from last year with songwriting. Yeah,
I know. But since then, you've written 2.5 albums because.
I've obviously End of an Era up towards, and there's 14 songs on the new album, and there were 12 on the last one. So so quite a bit.
There's another 7 new ones that you've written.
Yeah, already then. For the next one. Yeah, and we've got one we've been working on together for a secret project in the future.
Yeah.
Which, is the Storm Before the Calm.
Storm Before the Calm. Yeah. I like that. In some ways, it has a little similarity to Someday in the kind of tempo that it is and the kind of way that chorus unfolds is not completely dissimilar. I think it's a really good song. That it's going to be
Yeah, it is good. Yeah,
It'll be great.
yeah. It's just similar thing to Someday as well, which was
I think it is. Yeah.
primarily when it was first written was about a couple who split up, and he's essentially saying, you know, someday you'll need me back, essentially,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then it evolved into
Bit like Art Garfunkel and Paul Simon. It's like, someday you'll want me back, Paul.
yeah.
I saw him on a TV program, Paul Simon, and it's like
Yeah.
he was with Art Garfunkel as Art Garfunkel walked up the corridor, and he said, "Yeah, it didn't take you long to come crawling back, did it?" Because I always thought after Bridge Over Troubled Water, I always thought they'd had some kind of fallout or something, and that's why they'd split up. But apparently it wasn't. Apparently it was because Art went off to do films.
Yeah.
And he was off for a while and very successful at it. And at that time, Paul just thought, oh, well, I'll do a solo album. And that first solo album, of course, took off. And he had the first hit with, I think it was me and Julio down by the schoolyard? I think it was probably off the first album.
Yeah.
And they just never really got back together other than that Central Park gig. But they never got back together in a recording way, which is kind of odd, isn't it? Because you think, oh, they've obviously fallen apart.
Yeah, they hate each other.
Yeah, but not the case. Apparently, they remain firm friends ever since. You would have thought they would have done one more album for posterity, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows in the future?
Is Art still with us?
Yeah. Is he? I don't know.
Or is he?
I know Paul.
Does anyone know? Is Art Garfunkel still with us? I hate to say that I had an idea he died. If he didn't, because that's not a very nice thing to say, is it? No. Wouldn't wish death on Art. He never did anything too bad to me. I was going to say, oh yes, sorry, we had an answer to what Ursa Minor was, which is Little Bear, which is correct. We have the Little Bear and the Great Bear. Also, of course, known across here as the Little Saucepan, or as in America they know it as the Saucepan, the Little Saucepan and the Big Saucepan.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So the Little Bear and the Great Bear, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor. I assume Ursa stands for bear, does it? Or does it stand for dipper? I don't know.
Who knows?
Can somebody answer all these questions?
We know very knowledgeable.
Yeah, is Art Garfunkel still alive? And is Ursa a bear or a dipper?
Yeah, I think this is a bear. I do.
I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon that makes the most sense.
Yeah, I think. And then obviously the minor and major is the size of the bear. Oh, yeah.
Size of the bear, yeah. That's right. Somebody said, Scott McIntosh from Scotland. Received on United Nations today. It's freezing up here. These guys will be listening to the CD later on. Well, that will warm you up. Yeah, because you won't be able to stop dancing. You'll be dancing your way around the front room.
Yeah, Ursa is a bear and Art is still alive, apparently. So,
okay.
Yeah, thanks Colin for that. Art is still alive and Rick as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 82. Angel was saying.
Yeah.
Is that the bear or Art?
I think that's Art. I think the bear is older. The bear's at least 2,000 years old because the Greeks named him. I was on the same bill as Art Garfunkel, maybe early 2000s or something like that when I was working with the Supremes, and we did a lot of gigs in Germany, and he was on the same bill. I was thinking it was just him and a piano player or him and a guitar player. I can't remember.
Nice chap.
I didn't meet him.
No?
I didn't meet him, and I shame today I didn't see much of the show, even though I love his voice. I think he's got a great
brilliant.
voice. Brilliant voice. I think we're going to do the competition. Competition. Okay, so competition, as always, is a little bit topical. So I'm going to stick it up on screen, and maybe Ian, maybe you'd like to read this to the boys and girls.
Okay.
I'll stick it up on screen.
So the competition question is: in which Charlie Chaplin film does he break the fourth wall? As in the lyrics to Someday Charlie Someday.
Yeah.
So in which Charlie Chaplin film does he break the fourth wall?
Yes. There we are. There we are. Well, so the first correct answer wins, but actually we're not going to tell anyone if anyone's won until near the end when we will announce the lucky winner. And I think what we've been saying is that possibly this week any CD of your choice, if there's anything you haven't, or DVD, because there may be some DVDs that you don't have. I'm going to bring this back down off screen now. 2 seconds. Back to us. DVDs, I think there is a... Oh yeah, there's the Korgis Unplugged on DVD, which is John, James and Andy, the three of them who did loads of songs unplugged. Some great versions of them there too as well. There's also our videos for Cartoon World. There's a complete video set of that, which we have on DVD. There is also actually my gig, Al Steele, Live, Loud and Unleashed, is also on DVD.
The Globe?
At the Globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, were you there?
I was there.
Bloody hell, I didn't know you were there. Did we know each other then?
No.
Didn't think we did.
No.
Oh, well, thank you for coming.
Well, yeah, it was good. It was a good night, actually.
Yeah, it was interesting because actually the early version of the Korgis were on it. At that point, it was James Warren and Friends, but it actually was the same lineup. And Boyd Clack was there.
It's a great venue, though, as well, isn't it?
It's
quite intimate and, it's really good.
Yeah, it's a proper rock venue, really, isn't it? Yeah. And also the engineer was a friend of mine, and he did us multi-track recordings for it. So I spent months remixing the stuff afterwards, getting the best sound I could. And then with the various phones and cameras that had been lying around from any footage that I had, I managed to put together a DVD of the whole thing. It was quite a big band. I had Paul Smith on drums, who was my go-to drummer for most things. I had a friend of mine, Robin Hames, on bass for it. Nigel Hart, of course, ex-Korgis, on keyboards. Old friend Sean McBride on saxophone that night, and Woodwinds, who played a few different things. Born to Win were on backing vocals, all three of them there. And a second guitarist, the guy that works for me here at the studio, Rob Sherwood, was on not as much second guitar because it was a 2-guitar gig, and sometimes he was taking the lead and sometimes he didn't. There's a point in it where we had a song called These Walls, and I did this spiel where I said, I wrote 2 versions of the song, These Walls, and I thought the first was a little derivative, but we're going to play the first one to you now and you can make up your mind. And of course we played We Don't Need No Education. And Rob Sherwood did the big guitar solo. Well, he did his own version of it, because he's a kind of a bit of a monster guitar player. And they went wild, which was very nice. And then we played the proper song, These Walls Are Mine. So that was all good. There we are. Where have we got to? I think we are heading on to... Oh, yeah. So we've already touched on what you're working on today. So we know it's a new album that you're working on, and 14 tracks on this album. And there's some great stuff on it because the way that we do it is Ian writes the stuff, and there's been a bit of a downfall here, isn't it? Because you write the stuff at home very quietly so as not to upset the neighbours or anything like that. And then sometimes you get them here and you go, is this really this low? I can't believe it's this low.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to do next time is you're going to come here, go upstairs and sing them loud and check whether they're in the right key or not.
Not too bad though, only 2 songs.
There's only 2 songs,
Out of the 14, it's usually more, but that I've messed up. But
and then you send them up to Chris just as a guitar vocal thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then he's sort of
with ideas of like, I fancy a bit of this. Mariachi band on this.
Whatever really. Yeah, there's panpipes and saxophone. Mute trumpets and. Whatever else on this one,
Chris has got a lot of imagination, so he just goes wild and whoosh.
Yeah, Chris uses me as his guinea pig to try things, which he would never do on his own stuff, which is,
No, in fact, he was saying that today, wasn't he? It was like, it's like, maybe I should be more adventurous on my own stuff. With yours, I don't care. I just do anything.
But he said, you never say no. So it's my own fault, really. But yeah, that's coming out very soon. If you did want to check any of my stuff out, as I said, especially if you liked Sunday, Charlie Sunday, it's Cuprero on all music platforms.
Spell that, I think.
Cooprero. So we are actually going to jump up and grab something of yours on YouTube, and this is a song called Explode. Now this song was actually recorded by myself and Al in the main.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, which you played the guitar and the Fender Rhodes on, and
So there we are. Okay, so we're going to play it. This is stick you up on screen, and this is called Explode.
All alone, no control again. The road less traveled, it's so far. On my own within, secluded corridors of trees. There's no escaping from this harm. So please don't tease and don't break my heart. Implode, explode, and touch every part. So please don't tease. My heart, my heart. Loneliness takes its toll, and then all hope unravels from afar. All alone again, forgotten, full and empty, breeze, and never knowing who you are. So please don't tease and don't break my heart. Implode, explode, and touch every part. So please don't tease. My heart, don't break my heart. So please don't tease and don't break my heart. Implode, explode, and touch every part. So please don't tease. My heart, don't break my heart. My heart, don't break my heart.
There we are. Cuprero.
Explode.
Explode. Cuprero explodes live on the live stream.
If I hear any bigger, I will explode.
So I was thinking about that as well, and thinking, oh, well, there's, of course, there's BB's backing vocals on there. Of course, that is really what we've been doing the last 2 days, isn't it?
Yeah.
That essentially you and I did all the lead vocals, sent them all up to Chris, who then worked his magic on them all and doubled things, and all sorts. And this is the first time he's been using AI, hasn't he? So he's been using AI voices. So sometimes been creating backing vocals with like Paul McCartney and John Lennon on them.
Yeah.
But he's been AI on you as well, hasn't he?
He fed me through as an AI vocal. So essentially means I never have to sing any of my own stuff again because he can sing up there and put it through the AA.
Yeah.
And then, I won't have, it's great.
Yeah.
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 It's going to be simple. I just write the song, send it to him.
So and you won't have to have any more involvement in it.
No, that's
Yeah.
it. No,
Yeah.
No,
You just
I don't
go-
want to know, you know. Just,
But it's good fun. I really enjoy doing backing vocals. It's quite a creative thing, and of
Yeah.
course, it always sounds. You put the lines down and you think, oh yeah, that was okay, well, and then you hear them all together and go, oh my god,
Yeah.
that sounds amazing.
it is. It's a boring necessity, isn't it, to do. It's because you're re-recording the same
Yeah.
line like maybe 3 or 4 times each
Yeah.
time, then the harmony on top. So
Yeah.
it does take some,
Yeah.
to do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
an
right.
old school way, right?
Well, these guys know most of that because we often go through the Sonar stuff and they see how many layers of harmonies
Yeah.
there are there. I mean, what will typically happen with the Korgis is either James will put a block down first, and then I'll often double it more or less soon, or I'll put a block down first and he'll double that. Depends on who originated the song or who started which bit, etc. And sometimes there are bits where we go, oh, actually this would sound better with just you, James, in this, because he's got such an identifiable voice that
Yeah.
having a block of him is like immediately a different sound stuff. And every now and then he'll say, actually I don't like my voice in there, can we take it out because it sounds better balanced with the other guys a little bit more. So it's horses for courses, but we like to mix it up quite a lot in terms of sound wise, so that the different backing vocal blocks do work differently. And often James will come quite near the end of something and go, I've got an idea for an extra line that will go in here. And invariably we'll normally just have him doing that to kind of pull it out of the mire of the rest
I
of
suppose
it.
it's a nice dynamic as well, having Danielle, because you've got a
Yes.
whole other ball game then.
Yes, that's right. Because where we would be if we were high, we're either going to be quite shrill because we're going to be really belting it, or it's going to be too soft. Whereas Danielle, she's in the middle of her range there, and of course she can do all the other stuff. What would normally happen is between John and Danielle, they would double all of those blocks as well. Danielle sings quite low, as she can sing quite low too, so she could double everything, and sometimes we do that too. It's just whatever works, really. Every now and then, I think I was saying to you earlier, every now and then I fight to keep it leaner, to have less. Sometimes, for instance, on the song Cartoon World, it was designed as a 3-part, with just John, James and myself just doing the 3-part harmony. And in fact, there was a one time where the guys from Born to Win would leave the stage and we do it just acoustically with just a smaller band because it was designed for 3 vocals. And there's a couple of songs here and there. I don't think there's anything on the first album. I think there's more on the second album. That is, Oppenheimer was designed that way, that the bits, the choruses of Oppenheimer would decide. Yeah. Will we forever?
Yeah, it sounds really
be
good
stuck
live
in
as well,
this
because
moment? Yeah,
it's
that's
natural, isn't it?
It's a straight 3-part,
exactly.
and there's no real overdubs on that. It's just a straight 3-part. And then so Oppenheimer, of course, is on the Red album. There's a song called Sticky Note for the End of the World, which has 3-part. In fact, there's so much 3-part that James was doing the leads on it yesterday. He's going, how many lines are there? There's so many lines in this song. There are slightly too many lines in the song, so it would be faded a little bit earlier. But there's that one, and there's also the song Beginnings that begins the Blue album. That returns on the Red album. I'm giving his secrets away here. It returns on the Red album, but the second verse again is a 3-part block harmony version of it with the chords.
Am I allowed to say I've heard most of the Red album?
Yeah, because
you are in for a treat.
I think there's some
Brilliant.
good stuff. Good stuff, isn't there? I think we touched on the fact that we were saying end of an era, that we were all in the same room because we were in the right. I think it was the same process. We'd done backing vocals. We were doing backing vocals.
We're doing backing vocals, and that's when I played Someday.
Someday.
For the first
That's
time.
right. You played Someday. for
James
the first
didn't
time.
like it.
He didn't like it. No, he didn't. He kind of went.
And you could see there was,
I was
something
going,
there with
no.
AES.
I think it's got some. So why don't we play approximately how it originally sounded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we give that a go?
Excuse my voice. I've been singing back and forth.
You'll notice a couple of the chords are very slightly different here.
Yeah.
And so I changed some of those, and then I changed some of the lyrics. I kept some of your original lyrics, but I just, as I do, I pushed it into a territory.
Right.
This time we pushed it into the Charlie Chaplin territory. So anyway, it was something like this.
Someday you'll find another need for me. Someday you'll shine under the stars for me. Until someday comes along, I'll wait till you say I can belong. In the past I wasn't strong. It's too late to say that I was wrong.
And that was pretty much how it went, wasn't it? And I think you didn't have another bit, and you always thought, it needs another bit.
Yeah, Chris liked the bridge as a chorus, but I felt it was building up to a chorus.
Yeah,
which is
and
why
I felt exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
And so that's where James came in, because after him originally saying he didn't really like it, he didn't think it really had very much. Later on, I changed a couple of chords in the verse. And I just did a new demo of it where I put a few drums in it and stuff like that. And he heard it and he went, "That song, Someday, it's fantastic. I love that." It's like, well, you didn't love it the first time, you know. And he went, no, I love it. And I went, "You said you didn't see much in it." And he went, "Did I? I don't remember that," you know. And so what we did is we normally did, we played up to that point, and then I kind of went, "Okay, go. What's the chorus?" You know, and he just more or less launched straight into this "judge" in a different key, and he often does this "judge me
brilliant,
on
yeah.
my quest for truth," and because he'd sung that, and I'm immediately going, "Oh, this sounds kind of Beach Boys," you know. It's like, why don't we have judge me, quest for," you know, all that sort of stuff coming in. And you will see a little bit later on that actually on the video we have we're all there on stage singing that with Charlie in the background. So you'll see us all singing all those different harmony lines, and that's where it went. And then it's basically back to second verse, and then quite late on, I kind of thought, I think it needs a solo of some kind, and I just put in that wild Hammond solo, and I think some of the chords in it, you go, it doesn't kind of really fit what's in, but it did push everything into a kind of much more prog kind of territory, which I was quite happy about, really, because I was feeling that we didn't have very much, especially on this first album, we didn't have very much that really stretched out.
Yeah, what I like about it is it shouldn't work, but it does.
Yeah.
One of those things. Yeah. If you'd said beforehand, I'm going to just put a crazy organ solo in here, you'd be like, yeah, it's not going to work well. No. But it does. It does work, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I still don't know how, but it does.
Yeah, I know. It is kind of very odd, isn't it? Yeah. Right, so I'll tell you what, I think we are up to. I haven't looked at my crib sheet much this week. It gives the impression that I kind of know what we were doing. So, yeah, I think we're just going to grab up a little bit of Sonar. And I've got written on my crib sheet here what we stole from Scritti Politti. Drums with reverb and BVs. So those were the three things I was going to look at. But maybe we've just been talking about the Hammond. I might actually just bring you up just that Hammond by itself. You probably hear a load of wrong notes because I've gone like that. But let's give it a go and let's see what we can make of it. So up on screen here, you can see it coming up there. So I'm going to try and find that Hammond now, and we'll see what that does. So this is a plug-in Hammond, so it's a virtual instrument. I'm just going to try and get rid of that. If I can't get rid of it, I'm going to do this instead. It's a virtual instrument, so I'll show you what it looks like on screen. It's quite interesting because, yeah, there it is. So up on screen there, or rather I'll give you a slightly different view of it. If I can, there's the view, sorry, I'm going wrong. So here's our virtual Hammond, and okay, I'm not, I thought I would hear that playing, but actually it's probably because I'm right in a point where I turn the volume down. Maybe not. Hopefully it will play here anyway. I'm going to put a solo on it and just find where that bit is. Where back here somewhere. Outro. Oh yeah, we're miles away from it. Okay, so this is the solo. Let's see if we can hear that. Hopefully we can. So it's quite a dirty sound, isn't it?
It's a lovely sound.
So I think that might have been that might have come from like a David Lord preset or something from Deep Purple. It was something like that. Anyway, it was certainly
Reminding me a bit of the Doors, to be honest. A bit of a, like
yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
They have where it goes down.
Oh well, actually, all that style-wise, yes, I agree. Yeah, it is a wee bit like that. Funnily enough, we were doing a little bit of Hammond yesterday on Loaded Tongue, our song Loaded Tongue with James, and I was doing all that, the glisses and stuff, and he went, "There's too many glisses in there," and I'm going, "No, Hammond players live for glisses. That's what they like the most." Okay, so going back up on here, we were going to say, what did we steal from Scritti Politti? And let's just go back to the verse, because to me this is a really obvious steal, and we're very sorry. We're not sorry at all. It's a great little thing we stole.
Someday you'll find another need for me. Someday.
That's what we stole from Scritti Politti. Don't feel sorry for Lover Boy. Yeah, dang,
Oh, Patty, was it?
Oh, Patty.
Oh, Patty.
Oh, Patty.
Green Garter woman, he's from Wales. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
he won't get it.
Yeah, no.
Nobody
he
tell
won't.
him.
Yeah, it was actually a tribute, really, more than anything else.
Exactly.
James heard it and he went, "It's Scritti Politti." So yeah, we unashamedly stole that. Drum-wise, I used a little bit of a trick here. I don't know whether this will come out, and that is to put more reverb on the toms than on the rest of the kit. So we have a whole outro here where I got Paul to play more, and I kept saying more fills, more, where he does these. Yeah. So you can hear every time he hits a tom, it kind of goes a bit wild. Yeah. And so those toms come out over the top of everything at the end. Etc. Our normal complement of a million backing vocals, but this time we have all of these chorus backing vocals. And actually, if you look up here at the top of that screen there are only really backing vocals, no backing vocals at all in the verses or bridges, only in the choruses. And that was sort of quite intentional to kind of give the chorus a completely different feel from the rest of the song. We're going to play them, I think so. I think it says here, oh yeah, it says here John, James and Al, but I believe at the top of John's block there is also Danielle is in there too. In fact, I'm sure she is. But anyway, this is what just the backing vocals for the chorus sound like. I'm not sure if there's any leads in there, but I think probably just... Oh, that's it, yeah.
Judge me. Quest for to find.
Okay, so I'm going to stick the lead vocal in there as well, so you can kind of hear how that works with the lead. Oh. I wonder whether that... I don't think that's right. I'm going to do that a different way. It was all sounded very nice, and then it all disappeared. Where are we? James Neumann. Okay, that is the main one, I think. He's probably got a double here. Yeah, James double. Okay, so here we go. This is the full...
Judge me. Judge me. On my quest for transform. Not my stumbling. Search to find my one true love.
Yeah, beautiful. So
brilliant.
very nice, isn't it?
Sounds really, really good.
Very nice. Not too many moving lines, but just the way that they come together. And we just found kind of nice notes, made tunes around harmonies that kind of worked. So yeah, that's about it. There's a few other kind of nice. Everyone comments on that acoustic guitar sounds really lovely on it. But they always do. Whenever there's an acoustic guitar song, they go, the acoustic guitar sounds great. And I go, yeah, it's my Gibson. That Gibson J45 just sounds amazing. I'm going to come back to us now
Nice guitar.
because sometimes I forget to do that and they all tell me off, which is fair enough. Really. So yeah, we're going to get rid of Sonar now. No, we're not going to save it. And that's what happened. That's how we did it. And I think I got to say, on Cartoon World, whenever All Roads Lead to Rome come on, I'd always go, oh, I love this song. And it's the same with this song. Whenever this comes on in the Blue Album, I always go, oh, I love this song. Yeah. There's just something really, really complete about it. There's something that just really works.
Yeah, I think the chorus is, brought it all together really.
I think the chorus brought it together, but I mean, it's the verses are beautiful as well. You just listen to it and you go, there's not too many elements to it, but everything just works, and you don't need any more. It's just, and that outro of just, it's a verse, but it's like left out half of the lines. Yeah. It's the classic less is more, isn't it?
It's good though, because it keeps you thinking.
Yeah, those first two lines, someday they'll see, or sometimes I'll shine, or someday you'll find, isn't it? Someday you'll find, someday I'll shine. So those two words just kind of, by coincidence, kind of just fit together really kind of quite nicely. We're going to reiterate the quiz question one more time. We're not going to say whether anyone's won it or not, because that would give the game away, really, wouldn't it? But there seems to be certainly a lot of guesses going out there.
Yeah. In which Charlie Chaplin film does he break the fourth wall, as discussed in some of the...
Yes. Now, I didn't always know what the fourth wall was. But my daughter taught me about it, Leah, who did all the cartoons for Cartoon World, because she's a real film buff. And so she talked about, they broke the fourth wall, and that they broke, it was something, what was I watching? House of Cards, the American series with Kevin Spacey in it. And every now and then he'd turn to camera and go, you see, they think I'm an idiot, but actually I know what they're up to. And he would just spill the beans on what he was thinking, what was happening. And I thought it was just a really nice device. And of course, Charlie Chaplin did it famously in one film. Yes, he did.
Yeah. He gave the game away.
And at least one. Who knows? Someone might come back and go, and he did it in a different film as well. Or what do we know? But anyway, I think there's an obvious answer to this question. So that's it. I'll just flash it back up on screen in case anyone can't hear. But I don't think there's anyone on here that can't hear because they go,
yeah,
because we're not very good at miming.
And there's a few answers in the chat.
Few answers in the chat. Yes, indeed there are.
Are they correct?
Yeah. So probably back to news. I'm going to come back down again. Getting all this right today. You know, normally there's a whole space where people go, your mic's off, we can't hear you. Your camera's off, we can't see you. But today, it's all going swimmingly.
Yeah, it is.
So, news, we are top 3 in the Heritage chart. I thought we'd get to 5. It seemed to be slowing down. It got to 7, it got to 5. I thought, that's going to be it. But it's not. It's leapfrog up to 3 again now. So now, all of a sudden, we have hope of like, do we have another number 1? We had number 1 with Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime. Do we have another one with Good Old Days of the Cold War? It'd be lovely if we did. We don't expect it. It has been number 1 in the Fab chart, which is brilliant. I think it's gone down to number 2 this week. But fantastic that everybody likes the song, you know.
Wasn't Oppenheimer, wasn't that number 1?
Oppenheimer, of course, was a number 1.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was.
yes, Oppenheimer was a number 1 too.
Yeah.
And I think we had one more. We had Bringing Back the Spirit of Love was a number 1 as well. We had Always a Sunny Day got to number 4, I believe. And I think they're the only singles we'd released that we kind of put into the chart position. We had released other singles on the run up to Cartoon World and some from Cool Hits, but we hadn't really kind of pushed them. I think we always meant to release This World's for Everyone as a single from Cool Hits, and we just kind of never got round to it, which is a bit of a shame because I think they would have liked it. It's a nice video for that too. So that's good. Other news, festival gig. We have the Eyes Have It festival gig. It has been announced. Tickets are now on sale. The 2 top of the bills on that night are Us and the Christians. So that'll be brilliant because I love the Christians. I think they have a great set. That guy's voice.
Yeah, it's got a brilliant voice from the air.
Yeah. There's something about the da da da
It's got a
da.
lovely resonant voice from the end.
I've nicked that sound for several things. I thought, we'll do some backing vocals in the style of the Christians because it's just it's a very pure kind of nice kind of way to approach things.
Yeah, it's quite gospelly, isn't it? The backing vocals of the Christian, I think. Yeah. Very gospel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because of that vibrato. Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to doing them. I'm trying to think. I know on the 3rd night on that festival, the Climax Blues Band are on. And funny enough, I knew the original guitarist in the Climax Blues Band, Pete Haycock, who sold me a guitar. But I got friendly with him at the time. And he was one of those guys that had a room full of guitars. He was a fantastic guitar player. He was playing me some of the new stuff they had, and it was like, when people think of the Climax Blues Band, they go, the blues band, weren't they? No, they were kind of much more a rock band, very clever, bits of Steely Dan, bits of stuff.
Got to get it right, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, which wasn't really blues at all, really, was it? You know, keep on looking for a sign in the middle of the night. Couldn't get it right. Couldn't get it right. Yeah. And he had the aluminium guitar. Yeah. So I went to see him, and he said, "You after 335, are you?" And I went, "Yeah." And he said, "Yeah." I come downstairs. He said, "I got about 5." He had this room downstairs that was just stacked full of Les Pauls and Strats and Telecasters and semi-acoustics and stuff. And I did buy one off him, and I used that as my main guitar for yonks and yonks and yonks.
Was that the number that was on the train? Was that the train number earlier on?
I think it was, yeah.
5535.
55535. Yeah. Well, there we are.
Chance.
It was 5635.
Ah, right.
Not quite the same. Not quite the same. But anyway, anyone thinking that they're just a blues band, they're not. They kind of do all sorts of material. Very good. Probably closer to Paul Carrack than anything else. Their material, they've got a great singer, great lineup of the band. So I think that'd be a really good night as well. I can't remember who's on the other nights of the bill, but it's probably worth going out and camping out there for the Eyes Have It festival.
There's a great singer.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean, the things that he's done, not just by himself, but
How Long Ace.
Yeah. The co-write with the Eagles. Was it I Can't Tell You Why? Yeah. Was it that one he co-wrote?
Mike and the Mechanics.
Looking back over my shoulder.
And Silent Running. Great song.
And Squeeze. Tempted by the fruit of another. Yeah. Singing a ball tonight.
Yeah. Karaoke with Alan Cuprero.
Yeah, I mean, loads of other gigs. Bridgewater's about a month from now. Up in Yorkshire, Barnoldswick, Howdenshire, live arts 2 days after each other. Lewis down on the south coast near Brighton. Scotland, of course, a couple of days in Scotland. We've got Edinburgh and Glasgow. That should be lots and lots of fun. And I think that's it for news. I might have said something else in the notes, and I thought I must tell them about that and didn't. But anyway, if there's anything you want to know, please ask. Is there anything that we've got on here that we need to answer?
Vocals. I don't know with that.
Ian Walters, sorry to be fussy. Can we fade out early? Well, I actually love the outro. I think the outro sets it off. But if it were to be a single, no doubt Mike Reed would fade it wherever he wanted to fade it anyway. And, you can always fade it out yourself if you want to. I quite like the length of it. I think the symmetry of it is quite nice. In the fact that we've got quite a calm verse, we've got a chorus, we've got another verse, ramps up to the solo, chorus fades out, and then we have this little thing. I mean, if you have any conversations with James and I, you will always hear space. We like more space in it. When we do an Oppenheimer, it was like, no, we want space in it. It was like we wrote middle eight for it that had less in it than the rest of the song had. So we like that. Not everyone would do it. Some people would think, oh, it's a pop single, let's do this. But we like to think of pop singles as something that we just like, that we think other people might like.
Unless you ponder about the lyrics too.
Yeah,
That's
it.
Yeah.
Someday I'll find.
Someday
I'll shine.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're not going to be here next week, Rick. Oh, gosh, you're a bit of a part-timer, aren't you?
Oh, British Sea Power.
Yeah.
Good choice. Good band.
Climax Blues Band supporting Stackridge. Yeah, it would have been at the time when they were. And it was not quite, it was later than that I knew Pete. Would have been around 80, 81 or something. And they'd had their big hit. They were trying to hold on to their record deal. The new album they were doing was amazing. But of course, chasing commercial success once the record company has kind of lost interest in you is one of those frustrating
weird time
things.
as well, wasn't it, for music?
End of the 70s, you got punk had all just arrived. Yeah.
And then you had ETM or wherever coming in, and it was
it was the beginning of the 80s, wasn't it? All of that, all of the stuff that was being the old guard is going to get swept away, which a lot of them did. I mean, the Bee Gees say that was the death of them. The death of disco was that the punk coming in and just sweeping everything away, and the new wave.
Well, they just wrote, didn't they? You sing with Nile Rodgers. And, they just had to write songs for other people then. Well,
yeah.
They've done all right out of it.
You just did all right. Niall did all right.
A couple of million,
stuff Nile Rodgers done is like amazing, isn't it? Because there's a lot of stuff that people go, oh, I didn't know he was involved in that. I think most people know he's involved with Let's Dance. David Bowie. Not everyone knows that he produced the first Madonna album.
Was it Slave to the Rhythm as well, Chris?
No.
He didn't do that.
Well, I don't know. Was he on that? I would have thought, that's Trevor Horn, that is, so I would have thought he would have used his regular people. He's got a couple of go-to people that he uses.
Yeah, it sounds like him though, doesn't it? Similar style. And
I got an idea it isn't though. I think it's JJ Zezelik or whatever his name is, or something like that.
That's why you to right my wrongs.
Talking about grooves, that groove on Slave to the Rhythm is about the finest groove I have ever heard.
Yeah, and the Miss Pete, that bit? Oh, man. It's one of my favourite ever songs.
Yeah. Amazing. Yes, amazing. Okay, is there anything else you want to talk about? I think we've kind of covered most things. We need to go back and tell the competition winner who's won.
I just as well wanted to mention your lovely T-shirt.
Oh, gee, I completely forgot about that. I'm rocking this T-shirt, and funny enough, Brad Pitt is also up on our Facebook page.
I've seen him.
He's rocking the same T-shirt. I can't believe it. I can't believe how similar we actually look in this T-shirt.
I did look twice. You know.
Yeah.
It's a brand.
Unbelievable. So yeah, Ununited Nations, the T-shirt. We thought we'd go for blue. You know, blue is the new black, especially as it's the Ununited Nations blue album. I'm not sure we're going to do with the red album. We're going to have bright red T-shirts, or we're going to. I don't like the idea of going for pink very much.
No.
You know, no, not very
red, I reckon.
Not very manly, is it? You know.
Well,
Whatever. I don't know. Maybe we'll find another way around it. You know. But anyway, for the moment, the blue ones with the Ununited Nations, she got the blue and the red album on the front of there.
That's nice.
But we may do a limited edition of different coloured ones when we release the red album. And you might have figured out that I have to be quite careful with where I put these, because normally you would put the logo centre of chest. Of course, if we'd done that with this, it would make every guy look like he had a big pair of boobs.
Yeah.
Which probably isn't the best look. Might have put some people off.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
You can see how it would be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. As well, we may well just do a really limited rerun of the Cool Hits T-shirts. We've only got a couple of sizes left now. I might just fill in some of the other sizes. I might change the design a little bit on it because I really like the album cover, and I kind of felt maybe the T-shirts were maybe a bit too in your face. So we might do a slightly more subtle version of that. Yeah, if you fancy one of them, I think they're going to be in the works. They'll probably be here in about a week or something like that. But if you want one of these, they're here now. Got them in all sizes. In fact, a few people have been buying them today, so that's very nice. It's very nice to know.
Nice T-shirt.
Claw some of the money back for the merch. At the moment, it's all spent. But there we are. We do it because we love it. Should we tell them the competition winner?
Yes.
Let's put it back up on
Bragging
screen.
rights. Bragging rights.
Put it back up on screen. There we are. Charlie Chaplin back up on the screen. In which Charlie Chaplin film does he break the fourth wall? And of course, the fourth wall being when you talk to camera, you talk directly to the camera.
Yeah.
The people in the script can't hear you. You're doing a little aside to camera as if you're thinking something. And it's a very useful device. But Charlie Chaplin did it to amazing effect. Of course, at the very end of the film, The Great Dictator, which was a comedy of errors where he noticed that, and this was released during the war, this film, he noticed that, I'm going to come back, I have come back down here. He noticed that, of course, Hitler had the same moustache as him, and Charlie Chaplin had it before Hitler. Funny enough, he made his name, and he saw, and so he made this film about being mistaken for Hitler. And right at the end of the film, he's with his mate, and they all think he is Hitler, and they're saying, you're going to have to get up and do a speech. His mate's going, you're going to have to speak or they're going to kill us, you know. And he's going, I don't want to make a speech. I don't want to do it. I don't want any part of this. And so in the end, he does get up and make a speech, but he makes a very surprising speech, and he makes it directly to the camera. You don't see the audience, you don't see anyone, and he implores for world peace. I'm going to show you at least some of it in a couple of minutes, but first, I think we will actually just announce that today, the winner is Martin Smith. Again, I don't think you almost won the other week, and we sent you a prize because we kind of you got there, but just a split second too late. And this time, you pipped everyone else at the post.
Well
There's
done.
a few people who just got it kind of straight away there. So well done, Mark. And decide what you would like. What would you like? You tell us. Yeah. So while you're deciding what you like, and of course you can always email us. You know you've got our email. I'm sure we've got yours. We're going to play you a little bit of that Great Dictator, the end speech for those that haven't seen it. Coming at you.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. the way of life, can be free and beautiful. But we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate.
And thus it goes on, you know. A rather brilliant speech. You haven't seen it all, go grab it. I think actually the full movie, sorry, I'm going to come back to us now. The full movie is up on YouTube, so you can watch it as one on YouTube. I think you can't actually watch it anywhere else. I don't know if that is because of cancel culture, because Charlie Chaplin was definitely he was someone who was suspect in terms of his taste of women, was very young, let's say. In his defense, he was married to his last wife for the last 20 years of his life and had 9 kids. So he obviously did love her. But in this area of cancel culture, it's interesting. You can't find very many Charlie Chaplin films anywhere on like Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything like that. Certainly, I wanted to watch The Great Dictator and I couldn't watch it, but it is now at least up on YouTube. So I might give it a go. The chorus, of course, of Someday basically says, judge me for my work, don't judge me for my choice of girlfriend. But you can choose what you want to. You can judge her whatever way you want. But I've always thought that that someone like Michael Jackson, lived such a God knows what sort of upbringing he had when he was a kid, famous from the age of 7 or something like that. No handle on reality whatsoever, but made some of the greatest music of all time. In my life, I'm not going to cancel that as music because his personal life was suspect. If someone is great as a musician, I will applaud that for what it is. And the same for Charlie Chaplin, a great artist. And so personally, my point of view is that I will applaud them for the art that they do. The moral issues are a complete sidestep, something else that you need to address in a different field. That would be my thing anyway. A couple of people I need to say hello to. Hello, Ingo. Sorry, I only saw you come in there at the end. I'm not sure how long you've been there for. Hopefully we'll catch up soon. Ingo, I still haven't had a ticket link for the gig in France. I don't know what they're doing there. I have asked for it and they've gone soon. It looks to me like the tickets are not even on sale yet. I don't know whether they're hoping that if they put them on sale a week before, there'll be a mad rush for them. But anyway, lovely. And also Colin, lovely to see you again. And I bumped into Colin was here a few days ago. We had a chat about a good few things because it's Colin's gig that we're doing in Bridgewater on the 9th. So please, if you're thinking about coming along, come along to that gig. Some extra new songs in from Ununited Nations. We are going to be putting into the set, as well as the 3 that we've done, which is, of course, Beginnings, Mud Huts, One Way Ticket, and Good Old Days of the Cold War. We're also going to be putting in this song, Someday Charlie Someday, is going in there, and also Letter to Geelong is going in there. That'll be fun to do. There's all those different voices. We've got to figure out how we're going to do that. It is the sort of thing that if we have anyone that can really sing, that's kind of coming along and we can liaise with them beforehand, it's the sort of thing we get someone up to do a little guest appearance on one of the verses or something like that. So all of that is up for grabs, really. So that'll be good fun to do that, because we haven't started rehearsing yet. So we haven't figured out who is playing what instruments, because we're all kind of multi-instrumentalists. I mean, Danielle plays a whole host of different instruments. John Baker is, you've seen him in video on keyboards, guitar, bass. Obviously, James plays bass, guitar. He also dabbles at keyboards, and I do the same. So how we do the instrumentation for some of those, I haven't quite figured out yet. I know I really want Danielle on bling, bling,
Yeah.
bling, 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 and probably with the scritty polity beat, bling, bling. So I reckon she's going to be on glockenspiel, tambourine and vocals. Everyone else, no bleeding idea whatsoever.
Acoustic for you, Eric. Acoustic.
Sorry.
Acoustic guitar.
Acoustic.
Yeah.
I think I'm not going to be. I think John Baker maybe is going to be on acoustic guitar, and I'll cover the keyboard parts, those bits of piano parts that come in, and then the Hammond solo afterwards, and the bits of guitar. Just a little electric lines. So I think I'd probably cover all of those little extra bits that are very bitty, which it's always a challenge.
Yeah.
The biggest challenge in changing between keyboards and guitar is the pick. It's getting the pick into your hand. If you're playing keyboards with the right hand, you've got to get a pick in and get to there and get to the effects unit at the same time. It's a minefield. As anyone who will see me play the last plimsoll after doing the bum bum dun dun and getting to blah da da ba da da, it's always hit and miss. 50-50 moment. 50-50, yeah. Oh, okay, Martin, a Cartoon World t-shirt, absolutely. But the unplugged TV, if there's none left. No, we have got Cartoon World t-shirts. If that is your first choice, then that is what you will have. Yeah, we've got every size of that. Let us know your size. I might actually know your size, but tell me anyway. Tell me what your size is, Mark. There we are. Okay, I think we're going to sign off. I think we're going to play the just unveiled new video for Someday, Charlie, Someday.
Yeah.
I'll say a big thank you to Ian Cooper for coming along.
Thank you very much.
You've been a marvellous guest and singing for his supper.
I know, yeah. After I've been singing all day. Thank you very much. And last night. Thank you.
You deserved it.
You're so kind.
Thank you all. As always, I'll hang around for 5 minutes at the end just in case there's any questions or anything like that, and I'll just answer the chat before I sign off and say bye-bye. But we will leave you with the brand new video for Someday, Charlie, Someday. Here it comes.
Take care all.
Someday you'll find another need for me. Someday I'll shine once more among the stars you'll see. Till someday comes again, I'll wait for when the world says I belong. Like Michelangelo, I'll chip away at the shape of a brand new song. Judge me on my quest for treasures, not my stumbling, search to see. Someday you'll know. Someday you'll find. Someday I'll shine.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good, man.
Fabulous.
My wife's trying to cook a bolognese. I better get home
Oh, get home before she kills it.
before she kills it and kills me. More importantly, she was okay last night doing a brunch. You can't really mess that up, but nah, she's all right. Yeah, I know. Well, I do every other bloody day, so you know that's the
Well,
least you can
Sherry
do.
does a catch up on WhatsApp with
Yeah.
her mates tonight, so she's okay for a late tea.
Yeah. Cool. I'll whiz her across to you when I get back.
No worries. No worries. Brilliant.
Thank you all.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, take care, mate.